Yes, sir.
Could you give me a Kleenex? I want to wipe off my glasses. Thank you, sir.
That's better than having a gavel. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, August 19th, 9 o'clock. I'm Vern Tepe, Chair of the Transportation Committee. I hereby call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Berman, Iqbal, Caius,
Guys present.
Leonard,
Leonard here.
Roth,
Roth here.
Williams,
Williams here.
Doherty,
Doherty here.
Pepe.
Tepe here.
You have an in-person quorum?
Okay. We have a remote attendance request from Mr. Doherty. Any objection? All right. Thank you, Thank you, everybody. Mr. Doherty, welcome, of course.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes of July 15, 2025?
Mr. Chairman, this is Caius. I would ask for unanimous consent for the approval of the minutes from July 15th, 2025.
Okay. Any objection or corrections? All right, thank you. The minutes are so approved. Have one public comment from Stephen Leffler. Stephen? Or Steve, sorry, no N.
I'm happy either way. I'm here to speak today about something you'll be discussing regarding the budget. And I'm looking at budget account 30150, the local county option. And I would suggest that you consider modifying that. Currently, it's at 5.0. I recommend that you change that to 9.7 to match DuPage County. And I'd also hope that you guys consider whatever you can to improve bikeability in our county. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, for finance this morning, Mr. Rickert is going to be presenting. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning. All right, I'm going to forward the slides. Bear with me for a second. Under finance, you have all the reports in front of you. I did want to spend a little bit of time on our status of funds report. This is a report that I had created about 15 to 20 years ago. And the reason for this report was to ensure that the county board on just one page of paper could see our status of funds. And so this does highlight our primary.
Have more diarrhea?
I just had to be on.
Is it loose?
All right, this report does highlight the fund sources that we have. It does report on a monthly basis, the funds in and the funds out. And then it also shows our account balances. And if you look at the report, we do have a fund balance of, whoops, sorry, I skipped forward. My apologies. We do have a fund balance of about $182 million. And historically, the county board always saw how much we had in our accounts, but they didn't really understand the contractual obligations. And that was the reason that we created this report. 15, 20 years ago. Our contractual obligations at the end of the prior month was 83 million. Those are purchase orders that are actually in place right now that we owe funds to, whether it's an ongoing project or if it's the state of Illinois for our share of a grant-funded project. There's typically at any given time probably about $10 million or so that we owe the state of Illinois, sometimes greater than that. As well as those fund sources will look at projects too that we have moved into. The county board approved a number of projects just last month that are not in that number yet. So our contractual obligations are probably closer to 90 some million. Then you have our existing fund balances after those contractual obligations, which is 105 million at this point in time. Now, what I had done this past month, and I will be doing this every month so that you can actually see what our agreement contractual obligations are, because that's never been a part of the reporting. As I've started to list all the agreements and projects that we have to do within the next 3 years. And those projects are primarily local funds, and they add up to 118 million. What we've always tried to do is balance those projects. Since we're planning, our financial planning is a 5 to 10 year financial plan. We've always tried to make sure as we head into a project that we had the monies available in order to complete those projects. You will see then that within the next 3 years that our fund balance, we have a $13 million shortfall for projects that we have to do. We don't have to worry about that today, but we will in the next couple years. We will have to figure out how do we fund these projects and how do we get that $13 million shortfall. These are the projects that we have to do. I will later on go through the 20 some projects that we have cut from our program so that you have a really good understanding of where we're at with that. So that is the only thing I wanted to highlight is every month you will be getting this sheet and you'll have a better understanding with now all the projects listed where we are financially over the next 2 to 3 years. So we've got a $13 million shortfall. So that's all I have on the reports for finance. And Chair, if you would like me to move forward into the budget presentation, that's your call.
Before you do that, I'd like to note that Mr. Iqbal's here now, so please note his attendance, and Mr. Berman is online. Any objection to Mr. Berman's participating in the meeting? Okay. All right, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Berman. Go ahead with the budget. Thanks, Tom.
All right, our proposed budget for FY 2026. Here, I just wanted to list a number of our guiding principles. These are what we try to focus on when we're looking at the expenditure of the county funds. Maintenance and preservation is priority number 1, and that's the existing system, including roads, bridges, traffic control, and bike ped infrastructure. Public safety, that's also extremely important. We provide multimodal system safe. We want to provide a multimodal system safe for all users, as well as we have snow and ice control and traffic operations. Personal mobility, we look at transit as well as bike ped. We go beyond the highway infrastructure. That personal mobility is part of our overall planning process. We coordinate with all the municipalities, the townships, as well as our regional agencies on those types of projects.
You doing laundry?
Planning, we have the coordination again with our local and regional agencies. We look at future travel demands and we support economic development. That economic development component is very important. When you look at the number of jobs that are created because of the transportation funds that are available, As those funds become not available, we are losing a significant amount of jobs within Kane County because of that. Environment, we maintain and improve environmental quality as well as efficiency of the system. We look at trying to improve it. Our county board guidance, everything we do is county board guidance. We have our annual budget that we look at, ongoing projects. We also have our CRIP, which is currently, we just started the update of that. We're required to do that every 5 years. That's our impact fee road improvement program. Our transportation improvement program, we refer to as our TIP. We have a long-range transportation plan out to 2050. We also are required to follow and update on a regular basis our American with Disabilities Act transition plan, and then bicycle and pedestrian plan, as well as our ride and cane paratransit program. All of these activities are on an annual basis. You're seeing components of this and you're reaffirming, readopting them. All of these, as you can see, were adopted generally in recent years. Our ADA transition plan is one of the older ones, and we're actually trying to do that internally with staff. Our transportation funds, we have 9 primary transportation funds. It used to be 17 last year and prior years. We have combined all of the impact fee funds into the North Impact Fee Fund, Central Impact Fee Fund, and South Impact Fee Fund. That gives us a lot more or better oversight and understanding of the program. And it also conforms to the last update of our impact fee program. The first fund listed as well as the second, as well as the fourth, those 3 funds are property tax funds, and they equate to about 5.8 million. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We also have our motor fuel tax fund that's collected by the state and distributed to us. We have our motor fuel local option fund and our transportation sales tax fund. I'm going to dig deeper into that. When you look at our overall funding for FY26, we have what I refer to as our reoccurring. These are annual expenditures that we have to either receive the revenues or expend our funds on. And so our reoccurring are everything here. This is revenues right here under budgeted revenues, and then we have budgeted expenditures over here. Everything in the non-recurring, this is extra funds that we bring into the county in order to do more capacity type projects, or we utilize it for grants, we utilize it for contractual obligations. These are not reoccurring. So just to explain this a little bit, our recurring annual revenues coming in is about 46.61 million. That is subtracting the 6.85 million in the transportation sales tax. So this number is smaller than prior years. It's also not equivalent to the 6.85 million because there has been some growth in some of the other fund sources. So 46.61 million. And then our budgeted expenditures, our primary and annual budget expenditures is personnel, our traffic and other type of operations, our maintenance of roads like resurfacing, and then our maintenance of bridges, that's to repair joints and bridge decks, or to even replace bridges because the bridges get to a point where we have to do full replacement. We have other contract services. We have ride and cane paratransit, our commodities for like salt, fuel, and parts for vehicles, and then our vehicle equipment and others, and then transfers out. These are funds that are transferred out to the state's attorney's office and IT for the assistance they give us. Our total expenditures on an annual basis is 49.6 million. And I'll talk about this a little bit, but we now, with the removal of the 6.85 million, we have about a $3 million shortfall. And that has consequences. So I will spend some time on that in some of the upcoming slides. Again, we do have a number of non-recurring for projects that are ongoing that are grants and reimbursements, impact fees, investment income, as well as our fund balance utilization. These are funds that we have set aside in order to prepare to do a project. That's about $70.4 million in proposed in 2026. And then as far as our expenditures, you'll see that the capital non-maintenance expenditures for engineering, right-of-way construction, about 67.39 million here. Moving forward. So our proposed FY 2026 budget highlights. Our proposed budget is 116.98 million, so around 117 million. This is just slightly higher than last year, but for those of you that have been around, our budgets, depending on the grants and the projects we're doing, our budgets have major swings. They can be $20 million swings from year to year. So we move when the project is ready to move. And so it is slightly higher, but we worked on trying to pull that down as best we could. We do a program budget. We don't have your year-to-year actuals comparisons because 85-86% of our budget is projects. We do a program budget. Again, the program budget fluctuates significantly. There are, keep hitting the wrong button by accident. There are no general funds in our accounts. We utilize no general revenue funds. All of our funds are special revenue funds and grant funds. And then, as I mentioned prior, we do transfer around $450,000 a year. We transfer to the general fund for IT and state's attorney assistance. This is something we started a few years ago in order to help out the general fund. It was a way that we could utilize transportation funds and assist and pay for the services that we're receiving from IT, state's attorney's office. We've probably been doing that for 5 years now. Property tax levy, no increase. Any increase in the property taxes, the general fund is receiving all of our levy increases in order to assist there as well. The RTA sales tax, we show in our budget the 6.85 million reduction as we've gone to a 50-50 split now between KDOT and public safety. So this also increases the general fund by that 6.85 million to address the budget issues. 86% of our budget is projects, and that's for studies, design, right-of-way construction. That can be for expansion projects as well as for maintenance projects. As I mentioned earlier, we're heading more towards maintenance only. Then we have 14% that goes towards operations. That's for personnel, maintenance of the roadway, as I mentioned, like the salt, the fuel, that kind of stuff, traffic, and then riding cane, et cetera. Budgeted projects, we have our obligations, and those projects required due to purchase orders, due to safety, maintenance, agreements, and grant commitments. Anytime we get a grant, we're telling the state of Illinois we're going to have the local funds available. So, and then the fund balance utilization, we're utilizing 67.39 million. That's 57.6% of our budget for existing obligations, purchase orders and agreements and grant commitments. Personnel highlights, we got a total of 79 positions, 71 are full-time, 8 are part-time, seasonal. That's for snow and ice control, safety, field assistance, data collection, et cetera. Of the 71 full-time positions, 34 are administrative positions in the county highway fund and 37 are maintenance. The 34 accounts for our design section, our construction department, our land acquisition department, our planning and programming department, which assists in getting grants for our municipalities, and permitting department, our traffic operations department. So it says administrative positions, but I want you to know most of those are professional positions that move everything forward. And then we have right now, we currently have a 1.25% decrease in salaries and wages. And our salary and wages only include the union wage increases, but we're currently in the process of negotiating the contract for those positions. So it doesn't really address the full year of 2026. So I think it's important to know that the salaries and wages, depending on how those negotiations go, can also increase. And it does not yet include any non-union considerations at this point in time. That's typically given, that direction is given to us by the county board at a later date. And so, so that's where we're at this point in time with salaries and wages. Impacts to reducing the RTA sales tax to 50%. As I mentioned, the 6.85 million. The annual recurring operations and maintenance now exceeds revenues by $3 million annually. We're going to be working on that, trying to figure out what does this mean for the future. In all likelihood, it will mean that we will be resurfacing a lot less mileage of roadway. We will probably in the maintenance section look at increasing our crews for pothole repair and that kind of stuff on our roadway. Our maintenance section is spending a lot of time trying to figure out, are there cost efficiencies that we can create in order to reduce some of that $3 million shortfall? And I will talk about a portion of that in a little bit. One of the things that we're starting to look at that's part of our budget. Except for existing grants, matching funds now are totally unavailable for projects. And so we have to figure that out. Historically, as you know, we've probably have had a 3 times return on our funds and with grants. A few months ago, and I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. A few months ago, I showed you how we received $143 million worth of grants for about 40-some million dollars worth of local funds. That will not be occurring in the future. So I think you need to just be aware that that's not going to be a focus. We'll continue to assist our municipalities in going after grants and allowing them to do the projects that they need to, but we're really having to, no matter what, rein things in. So the 4th bullet point there, stop most grant applications until there's an alternative revenue source, until that's found, so that we can match the federal and state funds for safety, bike ped, and capacity projects. Those are the ones that we're going to stop. We'll continue to look at maintenance grants. A lot of our bigger bridge, like our Kirk Road Bridge, probably is funded 80% with grants. We have opportunities like that once in a while, but a majority of our bridge repairs we cannot get grants for. So when we get a chance to go after maintenance grants, we will be going after maintenance grants. And if we get a chance to go after safety grants where we're at least getting 90% funding from the federal government, we'll try to go after that if we can find matching funds somewhere. This impacts construction jobs, as I mentioned, as well as economic development in Kane County. there will be a lot fewer construction jobs because of the lack of those grants. Future year priorities for us will be maintenance, the potential for limited bridge grants when we can find them, and then but most of the work we will be doing with local funds only. Bridge structures and maintenance is approximately 12 million annually. Pavement maintenance, 14 million annually. Safety, as I mentioned, potential, and then transit, riding cane. These are critical services for our elderly and those with disabilities, and we will be focusing on how do we ensure that riding cane can proceed forward. So we typically on an annual basis, we seek 50% grant funding. And then we work with a bunch of sponsors right now. And hopefully we can maintain some of those funds where between county and sponsor funds, the other 50% of riding cane is covered. Impacts of reducing, again, RTA sales tax. No new projects. There are no new projects within our budget. I think last year we only added one because we knew that we were probably heading in this direction. So again, no new projects, no new capacity. The only projects we'll be adding is when we have to, maintenance wise. Those will be our primary projects. Maintenance changes. I mentioned earlier, our maintenance department under Mike Way's leadership is looking at ways to reduce some of our maintenance costs. Our budget includes a truck, approximately a $500,000 paint truck. And we'll be doing maintenance personnel training over the next year. And we anticipate a significant cost savings annually. This paint truck will only do our non-urethane paint. The regular paint truck or painting efforts, we've always contracted this out. Mike is going to try to, our superintendent is going to try to start doing some of this in-house. And we anticipate that it will save us about $500,000 annually once we're fully up and running. And so that's one of the things that with the cut in the RTA sales tax, we're trying to figure out what are ways to do this. The urethane, I don't think we'd ever be able to do, so we'll still have to contract that out. That's a specialty type paint. And but Mike's been meeting with Lake County, who is another county in the region that does this, and learning how their operations work. But again, part of that is the purchase of a paint truck in order to move forward with it. So that is in our budget. We're going to try to start moving towards that late fall.
Was that for urethane?
No, urethane we cannot do that. We will never be able to do that in-house. It's just regular paint, essentially west of 47. I'm west of Randall, sorry. Essentially those roads. We're going to seek to protect our existing grants. A few of them are listed there. The Kirk Road Bridge, Randall at Hops, Randall at 72, Randall at Big Timber. These are grants that have already been awarded to us, and we're going to try to make sure we don't lose these grants because all of these improvements have to occur. And then about 19 projects that we're putting on hold, and we're essentially stopping them until we can find additional funding from somewhere. Some of these projects, though, we have to proceed forward with, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. The Bowes Corn and Nestler intersection, that one is just on hold until we can find additional funds. The Burlington Silver Glen intersection is on hold. I'm sorry, the Burlington Silver Glen is a safety project. Because it's a safety project, we're continuing forward with our phase 1 engineering. And we feel it's important enough that we need to figure out funding for it. So at this point in time, we have some temporary improvements out there. Our design section is moving forward with the phase one. The Burlington Road bicycle accommodation, that's on hold. We completed our study, but it's on hold. The Doberman Meredith realignment. This is the realignment at Caneville High School. This was started because of safety needs at that location, but there are no additional funds to proceed forward with that realignment. Fabian Parkway at 31. This is a safety project. We feel that it's a very important project that we need to keep moving forward. And at this point in time, there's no money to move it forward. We're just going to complete the phase one study. I think we have about $1.5 million of additional engineering that we're still working on. At that point in time, once we complete the phase one, we'll have conversations with the state of Illinois and see what opportunities might be available. But it's going to be very difficult for us to be the lead agency on that in the near future without the state stepping up. Fabian at Settlers Hill, and we're going to complete design as well as the right-of-way acquisition. And then once everything, design and land acquisition is completed, we'll evaluate construction. But at this point in time, we don't have the local funds to get the left turn. If you've been out there, this is the golf course entrance. It has no left turn. There's been some serious accidents there, and we want to try to figure out how to move this forward, but there are not funds for it. And then the next one is the French Harmony extension and grade separation. This is part of our impact fee program. And so we will complete the phase one engineering only. Our design section is moving forward in the next couple months. You should see that phase one, but there's no monies beyond that. It's important that we complete it. First of all, we have the impact fees funds available for it. And also we need to start making sure that we're setting aside the future right-of-way. Sometimes these projects might have concerns from the public in regards to those projects. The Galligan Freeman, we're completing the phase one and right-of-way. We do have to, no matter what, do some of the phase two engineering as well as structure completements. There's a couple structures on Galligan Road that we have to replace. So this is going to be kind of scaled back to at least deal with the structures because we don't have enough funds to do the full project. Huntley Road, Randall Sleepy Hollow. This one is just being put on hold. It's supposed to be widening Huntley Road east of Randall Road to the widening that Carpentersville just completed. We're unable to do that. Montgomery at Howell, this is engineering and right-of-way only. There's temporary signals at that location. We're going to finalize the engineering and right-of-way and then evaluate construction at some future time. We need local funds in order to do that project. The Randall at Highland intersection, we're already in phase one. We're just going to complete the phase one and at this point in time, put that project on hold. Randall at Huntley Road, this is a safety capacity that this project we're also putting on hold. And Randall at I-90 interchange, we're going to complete the phase one engineering. That's a multi-million-dollar engineering project that's currently ongoing. And we're going to proceed to phase two engineering for the required bridge structure. The bridge there over the tollway has to be, I believe it's a replacement, right, Mike? It has to be replaced. And because it's a replacement, we're going to do the widening on the bridge, but all the approaches, we're just going to do it as, again, a sort of a temporary project until we can get the monies to complete the entire project, but we have to do the bridge. Randall at Kesslinger, same exact thing. The Kesslinger Road intersection was going to be part of that project, but we're going to have to move towards completing the phase one and only doing the engineering for the Kesslinger Road Bridge because we have to replace that bridge. The Randall Road Multimodal Project. This is a project that is subject to grants. We're finalizing the phase one engineering. Our design section will look at some opportunities to go after bicycle pedestrian. A lot of our intersections have no pedestrian crossings along Randall Road. We have really no money to work with, but we're going to select maybe one project that we can, one intersection or one bike path project that we can try to go after some federal funds in order to move that forward. So it's been scaled back significantly. The Randall at Prairie Street, there's operational issues at Illinois 38. During the peak hours, you'll try to get through that intersection and the turning movements are kind of parked in the middle of the intersection. We wanted to take a look at that, but at this point in time, we're putting that on hold. Randall at US 20, we're going to complete the phase one engineering, proceed forward for the phase two engineering for the required bridge structure. Again, it's a bridge structure we have to do no matter what, but we're just going to focus on the bridge structure. Safety enhancement projects we're putting on hold at this point in time unless we can get 90% funding. Then we'll bring it to the county board to see if you are okay with trying to figure out some local funds in order to do the 10% match. And then Tyrrell Road from Raymond to Mason, we're going to complete the phase one and right away only. Those are already in the budget process, but we're going to be putting that on hold as well. That's sort of a safety capacity project, but at this point in time, we can't proceed forward. So those are the projects that we have removed from our, as you know, we do a 5 to 10 year financial plan, and we've removed all of those just because we know we do not have the funding at this point in time. So that's our budget. It is a lot of changes. We are looking at efficiencies. The paint truck is one of them. Mike is also looking at potentially not in the upcoming year, but maybe the year after, once we get moving with the paint truck, going to a crack sealing internally. Crack sealing is you see the cracks in the roadway. We have to preserve the subgrade underneath the pavement, and crack sealing helps to do that. We're looking at maybe taking that internally too in the future for a few $100,000 savings on an annual basis. So we are looking for cost savings. We're looking for as many ways as we can to that's our new paint truck. So,
Guys.
Any questions? Oh, come on, you gotta have some. This is.
Skill set there. It's my skill set. Hey, Katie, we'll take whatever.
Bates here.
Ms. Bates, good morning.
Is there any way that we can share a paint truck with another county? Are these paint trucks used every day? Is there a, can we share one?
Well,
there-
I want you to know, I've already discussed perhaps sharing it with the townships because so I'm sure they'll look at whatever they can do. Key thing would be just for us to replace the addition of this truck would save the county $500,000 a year. So believe me, they are always looking for these kinds of situations and opportunities. So thanks. All right, I have a Mr. Iqbal.
Yeah, what the presentation is now, nothing new to it. I knew the pain that you will go through, but I want to be on the record that I did not vote for that resolution to take your RTA funds away.
Okay. Yes, sir. Good morning,
Oh, Caius?
Mr. Caius. Yes.
Thanks. So, of course, this is not a very rosy future. Not a very rosy future, it seems like. And when you began your project or your explanation on page 35, you said we're going to do only the things that when we have to. And then I get a little confused in the presentation because some of them are on hold, even though they say they're safety. So is there some sort of a tipping point we're looking at that makes them a must-do project? Like a 90, the bridge has to be replaced. I'm assuming that's a safety issue, and that's dictated by the feds, is it?
Well, we have for bridges, and Mike can get into more details, but bridges, we're inspecting them every 2 years. Some bridges we're required to inspect every year. There is a rating system that's national rating system that we utilize. And there comes a point where you just have to do certain types of maintenance. With resurfacing maintenance, you could push it out a little bit further, but we've been utilizing a lot of pavement management systems to extend the life of the pavement. With that $300 million shortfall on an annual basis, those types of programs are going to be much more difficult. So I anticipate for the next 3 to 5 years, our pavement might be okay, but we're going to eventually hit a situation where we're going to have to pay millions and millions of dollars to catch back up on pavement.
And second part of that is I didn't hear anything about engineering. I know we're doing the engineering, the external engineering. Are we still losing a lot of money because we can't hire proper engineering internally?
There's monies that are lost because we have to hire outside vendors, engineers to do like construction observation, to assist in the permitting activities. In permitting, we try to forward a lot of those costs as best we can to the developers, et cetera. But yeah, there are costs that are involved, but those are positions that we're pretty confident that are going to be difficult to fill. But we do have a lot of new staff this past year, and I think that will help us in the future. But at least at this point in time, some of the engineering vacancies we're not going to be seeking in the future to fill those vacancies, especially with the projects over the next 5 or so years going down. We're going to be utilizing outside vendors more, is what I would say.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, before we move on, I have a personal announcement. I was just informed by my wife that we now have an 11th grandchild. He was born about 5:30 this morning, so. We hope we think we're done with grandchildren. We're just looking for the great ones now. All right, next, Mr. Way, maintenance.
Good morning. You'll see the maintenance report is on file. Some things that didn't make it in the report because they just happened this weekend. Obviously, we had some pretty active storms Sunday night and Monday. Or Saturday night, sorry. Saturday night, we did respond to the area of Bliss main roundabout. At the height of the storm, we had about 8 trees across the road in that area. So staff was able to clear that within about an hour and a half. Later that night, we did go back out to Sugar Grove area because they were getting about 5 inches of rain. And I can confirm that we only had one area where water was on the roadway. And that was an orchard area, and that's just the drain cover was covered. So as soon as we cleaned it, it was good to go. So we kind of owe that to our ditching program and our culvert replacement and all the hard work we do with trying to get water to flow uphill. That we got lucky that no water was in the roadway and we're good to go. So we are currently looking at Pawpaw last night, got about 8 inches of rain. So we're monitoring and seeing if they need any assistance, because I do know of one culvert for theirs that got washed out. So any questions on the maintenance report?
You have a resolution?
Next before you will be a resolution to purchase 2025 articulating wheel loader for King County Division of Transportation. Our current wheel loader is a 2008 Case 721G with about 7,500 hours on it. It came to attention that we had to pull it out of service because it was due for repair. When we got 3 quotes, the repair came anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 for repair. This loader was due for replacement next year in FY '26, but I did have some money left in the budget due to canceling the floor project of the shop that will cover the replacement of this loader. This is via Sourcewell for a total of $288,590. I also did get some competitive quotes. So for the state bid, the same loader would cost us $299,492. And then going to a private dealer, the same loader used with 500 hours would cost us $329,000 and 165. And then I talked to another county that just bid it out and they paid $310. So Sourcewell is saving us a significant amount of money through that. Staff recommends approval.
Roth will make the motion. Second to discuss.
Leonard will move.
Leonard moves.
Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Caius second.
Yeah, question. My question is to the council, if he is listening. There are numbers used there, and then there are numbers used with the words. There is no consistency when both should appear or one should appear. Like on second variance, you will see 288, 590, but there are no words right next to it. But if you go to the next one, you see number and words. And I'm finding it not only on this page, but also on other resolutions. So we need some kind of a consistency. Or what is the rule that you follow?
I'll talk to the state's attorney right after the meeting. We'll make sure they're consistent.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Berman, Mr. Berman, Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth.
Berman, yes.
Thank you. Williams,
Yes.
Doherty. Mr. Doherty. Pepe.
Except yes.
Passes.
I apologize. I pushed the wrong button. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next before you is a resolution for approving the adopt a highways for this month. This month we have 2 renewals and 1 new applicant, and staff recommends approval.
The motion is second to discuss.
Caius move.
Caius moves.
Leonard
Leonard
seconds.
seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Williams,
Abstain.
Doherty,
Yes.
Pepe.
Except yes.
Passes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Way. Planning and programming, Ms. Files.
Good morning. The report is in your packet. Just a couple of quick highlights. In July, the Impact Fee Advisory Committee kicked off the program update. That is dictated, the process is dictated by this governing state statute, and we are on a timeline to adopt this or to present it to the county board for consideration for adoption in January of 2027. In the meantime, next week, we're going to have our second of 5 meetings with the Impact Fee Advisory Committee. We're going to discuss and present and review the socioeconomic information, the households and employment and population forecasts that are provided by CMAP. We're going to provide those to the Impact Fee Advisory Committee, and we're going to ask them to present to the county board or to this committee a date to hold a public hearing, to put that information out and have municipal and public comment feedback on those land use assumptions. Those assumptions will feed into the travel demand model and show us the deficiencies and the kind of capacity projects that will be required because of the new development. So next month, we'll be presenting that rough data, the projections that we would like to post at the public hearing. And we'll be bringing that next month for your consideration. The Ride and Cane program, the RTA's proposed program, they'll be adopting or voting on it August 31st. We were allocated $2.5 million for the Ride and Cane program. That money will match
Grab something really
sponsor
fast. I'll
and
be right back.
county funds, and we'll be spreading those funds out over a 2-year program for the Ride and Cane program, so about $1.2 million a year if that's awarded. Those funds will probably be available in May of 2026. That's good. It'll help keep the program healthy. And then we're working with PACE. We'll bring an agreement to you in the next few months, depending on their budget capacity to help subsidize some of the operating costs as well. Council Mayors continues to work hard programming federal funds for municipal and county projects, and that's all. Any questions?
Any questions from Ms. Files? Okay, thank you. Permitting. Ms. Horch.
Good morning. Our permitting packet is in your packets. Due to time, if you have any questions, I'll entertain those at this point. That's all we had. Thank you.
Any questions on that? All right. Thank you. Traffic operations. Kurt, good morning.
Good morning. Included in your packet is our traffic operations report. So if there's any questions, let me know. I did want to mention one thing, not in the report, since it happened after the report was written, and there was.
Is your microphone on?
It is. I'll try to speak up.
Okay.
There was some unfortunate vandalism that occurred to KDOT's traffic fiber network about a week and a half ago. It's not in the report, like I say, because of the time frame, but the vandals cut some of our fiber optic line. We think hoping to get some salvage value from the copper, but there is no copper in the fiber optic line. So we did, this was up on Stearns Road, and it's part of a network loop. So fortunately, there was no outage, but so it didn't break down our communication. But KDOT's EMC, electrical maintenance contractor, is working to repair that damage, and we'll be treating that like we do other insurance claims, most of which are from crashes, but occasionally we do get vandalism like this. So wanted to just bring that up.
What occurred? Did they steal some fiber optic or?
Right. They were able to snip the line and remove some length of wire through there. They also did the same with a small stretch of lighting for a lighting system. So
that's crazy. Mr. Roth.
Yeah, the lighting's copper, right?
It
So
is.
that's what they were probably going after, and they just got because fiber isn't really a
Right.
reusable.
That bit of speculation on our part, but we
Right.
think they snipped something and said, this isn't what we wanted.
All right. Do you have a resolution?
Yes. The next one is that related to our 3-year electrical maintenance contract. KDOT put out public bids for that FY 26, FY 27, FY 28 3-year electrical maintenance contract. That is responsible for keeping our signals and lighting systems throughout the county in good working order. We received 2 qualified bidders. Neither met the RBO guidelines, but they are both IDOT pre-qualified contractors for electrical work. And so staff is recommending approval of this contract to Mead Electric.
Motion and second.
Roth will make the motion.
Roth moves.
Kai, second.
Kai seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Thank you. Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kai, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Roth.
Roth, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Doherty,
Courteous.
Pepe.
Thank you, Mr. Nickon. Project implementation. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. Design projects in our TIP continue to move forward over at KDOT. The consultant for our Randall at Highland design project has recently presented KDOT with some design alternatives that were exciting. And we are very close to achieving design approval on our Randall Road multimodal project, which plans for a bike path on the northernmost 9 miles of Randall Road in our county. We can move on to construction photos if you are ready. Photo 1 shows work on the Randall Road box culvert. It's near completion with only restoration and punch list items remaining. We have a lot of wet, heavy soil at the Bunker Road Extension project site this summer. And these photos show the work of scraping and disking the soil to dry it so it can be moved. Work continues on installing the new recessed reflective pavement markers throughout our county. These RRPMs are 90% federally funded and a highly requested safety feature on our rural roads. The 2025 County Paving Patrol is underway. This is our program which takes our lowest condition road surfaces, mills them down, and repaves them to provide a new riding surface. And this photo shows an MSE protection wall being framed and poured on Sandbloom Road beneath the Long Meadow Parkway Bridge. This is a safety feature we've added to protect motorists and our bridge abutment wall.
Any questions?
Was that on the bridge there, was that included in the original contract stuff? That was an addition to the safety?
It's an ad, Chris.
What was the cost of that? You know,
I'll get it to you.
six figure. Yeah. I know they were working on it, so it's disrupted my commute.
Oh,
They were very efficient about it and they didn't, wasn't really serious.
I recommend staying away from North Avenue then if you're concerned.
Williams Road.
We're adding this MSE protection wall in future bridge plans. For example, the Kirk Road over UPRR has these MSE protection walls built in.
That's the multicolored wall there.
The multicolor wall is the MSE wall, yeah, and we're pouring a concrete protection wall,
Which is inside that.
which is inside,
Cars running into the nice looking wall.
right?
Cost of that wall is being absorbed and accommodated within the Long Meadow Parkway contract that's still open. So I don't know the number. I wish I had that. There was capacity within our local share to absorb. that.
Microphone, please.
An add-on. Well, it is an add-on, but it's funds that are readily available.
Was your mic on?
It is not. It is now. Repeat that.
Oh, Miss Allen was asking something about,
The cost of adding this is being added to the existing IDOT contract and absorbed with appropriation previously approved by the board.
oh, thank you.
Even though it's an add-on to the contract, we have funds available to pay for it.
Excellent.
I don't know the number though, how much it costs, but we can afford it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Big thing.
Okay, thank you. All right, your first resolution?
Our first three resolutions are all amendments. So Resolution B, in May of 2020, the county board approved an agreement with Michael Baker to design repairs to 17 separate bridge structures. In June of 2023, the original agreement was amended to account for additional permitting and separate packaging of the projects for better bids. One package has been bid and constructed. And in order to finish the other two packages, an extension of time is necessary for final environmental clearances. So staff recommends approval of this amendment for an extension of time. No additional funds are requested.
Leonard will move.
Roth will second.
Any discussion?
I'm sorry, I'm a little slow on this. This was no extra funds, but it just modifying the terms of it.
Yeah,
So we're
extending the terms.
pretty all internal then as far as.
Okay, roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Yes.
Doherty.
Sorry,
Doherty,
sorry, yeah.
Tepe,
Seppi, yes.
passes.
Okay, your next amendment.
In 2020, staff selected Benish for Phase 3 construction engineering services for Long Meadow Parkway C2. In order to allow adequate time for contract closeout with IDOT, staff recommends approval to extend the term of the agreement an additional 5 years till December 2030.
Roth will make the motion.
Guys, second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
Tepe,
Seppi, yes.
passes.
Next.
In 2022, staff selected V3 for Phase 3 construction services for the Bliss Main Fabian Roundabout. In order to allow adequate time to prepare the final documentation reports for contract closeout, staff recommends approval to extend the term of the agreement just until the end of our fiscal year, until the end of November 2025.
Leonard will move.
Roth will second.
Okay, any discussion?
Did this cover taking the trees out since we extended it?
Please.
Could ask.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Doherty,
Yeah.
Tepe,
Yes.
passes.
Next.
In order to complete the Randall at Hobbs intersection improvement and grade separation project, right-of-way from 13 parcels is required. On August 1st, our governor signed the quick take bill, and while KDOT continues to negotiate with our property owners in good faith, condemnation will be pursued in order to meet our funding deadline. Staff recommends approval of this resolution, which authorizes the county to acquire the properties as described.
Leonard will move.
Roth will second.
Any discussion? Just as a point of explanation, this is where we did the quick take
Microphone?
associated with properties.
Microphone.
Mic, please.
Are you speak into the microphone then?
This is where we did the quick take associated with properties in that area. But my understanding is that negotiations are going along in a very amenable manner. Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
Tepe,
Seppi, yes.
passes.
Next.
In February of this year, the county board authorized land acquisition efforts for the Randall at Big Timber intersection improvement. There was an error in the legal descriptions for parcel 1A and parcel 1B. The corrected legal descriptions are attached, and staff recommends approval of this resolution.
Roth will make the motion.
Guys, second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes.
Leonard,
Yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
Tepe,
Seppi, yes.
passes.
And last.
The final resolution.
As part of the Doberman Road Extension Project, which was constructed in 2024, KDOT asked for IDOT's help in acquiring land adjacent to Illinois Route 30 for the project via quick take. 4 years ago, as Resolution 21448, the county board approved the preliminary just compensation amount of $138,000 with executive office holdings for a parcel of land. More recently, as IDOT has settled with this property owner in court, the court ordered an additional $126,000 to be paid to the property owner for damages to the remainder. Staff recommends approval of the additional funds to be deposited as stated in the final judgment order.
Roth will make the motion.
By second?
By seconds. Any discussion? This is the court order to pay an additional $126,000. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Herman,
Irving, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Roth,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Doherty,
Yes.
Pepe,
Steffi, yes.
passes.
Okay, may I have a motion to place reports on file?
Roth would request unanimous approval to put the reports on file.
Any objection? So done. We go into executive session. Anybody looking forward to that? Not today. Okay. Any new business anybody wants to bring forth?
Roth will make a motion for adjournment.
Tom, I want to thank you for a really comprehensive report on the budget. Okay, I think that was well done, and I think the explanations were very appropriate. I'm pleased to have worked with this staff in relationship to the challenges associated with the budget, and the way they have approached it and reapproached it is quite commendable. So I want to thank you and Mike in particular for doing that, as well as the rest of the staff. Okay. So yes, Mr. Roth.
Roth will make the motion to adjourn.
By second?
By seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of